Right, okay. More fearful, intense than a horror movie. Creeping into a society in a stealth mode, we are breathing more of FOMO than we breathe oxygen today. And we can't blame global warming for this. SanjayGT is here to share his 40-year-old journey of dealing with FOMO, failures, and his discovery on how explore theory is out here to bail us out. He's an inventor, speaker, explorer, innovator, and board member. A graduate of BITS Pilani and the London School of Business, Sanjay is an industry expert and has 20 years of corporate experience. Currently, he leads the manufacturing and natural resources industry in IBM India and has been a speaker at multiple industry forums, including NASSCOM, the Chamber of Commerce, and the Government of India. His person has been invited as a representative of India at various business trade on clean energy, business trade summits, on clean energy and sustainability between countries such as Australia and Brazil. At TEDx Youth at Russel Street, Sanjay looks to share personal experiences with his struggle with FOMO and inspire others with his leitmotif of nothing is impossible. Sanjay, best of luck with the lights. It's not really very gentle out here.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I was invited to a movie by some of my friends a couple of days back, and I was late and I missed out on that movie. As you can see, I have a great connection with this art of missing out. And then I came to know that the name of the movie was Shamshera. So as you see, missing out is not such a bad thing always, isn't it? Hi, my name is SanjayGT, and I am going to share with you my journey, my struggle with FOMO over the last 40 years. People who have grown up in the 70s or 80s or 90s, they used to interact with other people like their neighbors, relatives and friends, and trying to witness their failures. No, knowing failure is not a negative thing. It is actually a learning thing. It is very important to know failures and to experience them. But today we are living in a society where we are not even allowed to witness or smell failures. You woke up today morning to learn that everybody scored 100% in that exam last night. Or you, my friend, came to know today morning that your friend cooked a fantastic dish which got nominated to MasterChef last night. And you, my friend, came to know that your friend just met Ranveer Singh on the flight. So many things to miss out in one single night while we were just sleeping. And as they say, we waste 1/3 of our lives sleeping. Is it such a bad thing? That, my dear friends, is the fear of missing out. It has struck human beings so decisively that nothing has ever struck the human society. More lethal than cancer, more fatal than COVID. If you, my friend, woke up today morning and before you went to brush your teeth, you checked on your emails and checked on your Facebook status, social media status, to understand what the world has been talking about you or why the world has not been talking about you. If that is troubling you, then my friend, you are a victim of FOMO. But the roots of FOMO was not invented last night. Our country has always fostered FOMO. We in India believe in a culture of competitiveness. And ever since the Brits left our country to us, I personally believe that we are in a perennial race to become the next Brit. Yes, it is true that we have overpopulation and lesser number of resources, and that actually accentuates the entire problem. But just pause a while and think about your ancestors. What wonderful memoirs about their own childhood have they written? Be it Rudyard Kipling or Ruskin Bond or Mr. Tagore, R.K. Narayan, or even your own grandfather. The question that we face today is, what memoirs of your own childhood or our own childhood are we going to script? We have brought this society to such a stage that we don't even remember our own childhoods properly. You must be thinking, What does this guy who grew up probably in the 80s and 90s have to talk about and give a lecture on FOMO when in the 80s and 90s this word was not even invented? Let me tell you that growing up in a family of stalwarts does have its side effects. Familiar story, isn't it? Before I even came to know what I am going to miss out, the very fear of missing out ripped me apart. I was always a diligent student. And I am very happy to tell you today that I have flunked each and every competitive exam that I have sat through, all of them. All of them. Sometimes I used to wonder whether the last boy of the class was way ahead of me. Now, my friends, I am sure all of you have heard about the theory of evolution, Darwin's theory of evolution, the theory that defines how humans, animals, dinosaurs has gone through evolution for millions of years. I am going to tell you that the greatest theory of evolution that has been unfurling right in front of our eyes at this very moment is the theory of the evolution of our society. And it changes twice every decade. For example, we humans have been transformed from bookworms to Facebook worms in a matter of less than a decade, a rate that even puts a dinosaurs to shame. But the greatest boon of this theory is also that it comes with multiple changes. It continues to offer you change after change, multiple revelations and multiple opportunities to play with. For example, in the 60s and 70s when people were just warming up to newer skills, the industrial revolution comes and changes everything. In the 80s and 90s when people were trying to industrialize themselves, the IT revolution comes and changes everything. When you, my friend, were aspiring for that fantastic DSLR camera to take great pictures, the smartphone comes and changes everything. And after all the hard work, when you thought you have earned enough and a corner and the space in that swanky corner office, work from home comes and changes everything. How many changes will you cope up in your life, my dear friends? For me, I have been through years of failure and stages of depression. Sometimes I used to feel that every car was there to overtake me. And today I can stand here and tell you all the great things. For example, I was always born with great amount of grit, no give up attitude and all that. No, I am not going to tell you all these things. I am here to tell you that it is all about nature and this theory of the evolution of the society that changes everything. I did not face roadblocks, my friend. I faced road ends and numerous times. Today I am standing in front of you in front of a large crowd. I also give a lot of lectures outside in public forums. But when I was 7 or 8, I was put up on stage in front of an audience which seemed at that point of time an ocean to recite a small poem by Tagore. And the number of words I could utter was 0. I choked. And from that day, I developed a great fear on public speaking. I almost failed in my class 6 exam because I could not cope up with the vernacular which I was offered. When I was 17, I contracted a rare disease in my eye and I was almost turning blind. It was the end of my life almost, my futures. And every doctor in this city told me that the only solution I had was to replace my eye. How I came back from that situation and standing in front of it today is a story that needs another TEDx event. We'll leave it for that day. But the most important message is I did come back. There have been times where I thought my career was over, my career was not going through. There were times when I thought and I felt that I could not cope up with competition. And the fear of missing out was gripping me. And in those moments, I turn into creativity and innovation. I traveled across the world, worked in 26 countries, met a lot of new cultures. And each time one door closed, the other opened up. And let me tell you, my friends, from my experience, there is always that one single door waiting for you to knock. You just have to find it. As for me, I went back, focused on innovation. I turned into an inventor, and I was awarded patents in the field of artificial intelligence. Everything seemed very fine. Everything seemed smooth sailing and all settled down. But I did tell you about this fundamental theory of the evolution of the society, and it will always make sure that things will not always be smooth sailing. A couple of years back, I contracted a very rare infection in my hand, my right hand, which is my writing hand. And I was told by the doctors that I was passing away in the next couple of hours, or at the minimum, I have to ampute my entire right hand. 4 months and 4 surgeries after, I was back with partial disability in my right hand. So what fear of missing out are you telling me, my friends? I lost out on everything. How many curved balls will you throw at me, my dear life? I could not even hold a pen. So I turned around, circled back, and filed 4 more patents in the last 12 months. One of them was in the field of green energy. I discovered there are many, many areas that are outside of the traditional topics that we know that need our attention and intervention. Let me tell you, there are so many areas of work that are waiting for you to come, and they are waiting to catapult you to greater heights. I went back and focused on my work with my clients. I built a team, and today I lead the manufacturing sector in one of the largest enterprises in the world. Some of my work last year around data science, data fabrication was accepted by the government of India, by the mining ministry. They also recommended me to accompany them to some of the bilateral trade talks between India and some other countries. At the very same time, an American university, Notre Dame University, cited me as one of the pioneers and thought leaders in the field of additive manufacturing. All in the last 12 months, I made sure everything I will do so that FOMO is not part of my life. Now, if FOMO has been troubling you, it is time to shift away from FOMO. Enough of FOMO. It is time that we accepted JOMO. JOMO stands for the joy of missing out. While FOMO always ensures that you have a perennial spiraling downturn of emotions, JOMO, the joy of missing out, always ensures that you continue to rise. You continue to embrace whatever gift you have and find joy in your present situation. Please give your 100% to everything, my friends, unless, of course, you are donating blood. It is important, my friends, to look out of that social media handle and look out to the actual world. You are upset and sad because you missed out on that admission of that college, which the founder of that social media platform himself had denounced a few years back. Oh, come on. It is time to invest in time. It is time to invent new roads. Every morning starts with the dawn. Let us be the dawn of the dawns, not the dawn that the police of 12 countries are chasing, but the dawn 12 nations would aspire for. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.